all the junglers are up here. We have all the Bruiser top laners, Jax, Renekton, everything is open as well. And mid lane, we might see some early mid lane picks here because there's so many bans towards it. So they want to secure something like an Orianna early on, possibly for both Selfie and Counter could actually pick it up if they want to. And at least Sin being banned away, it seems to me like Impaler doesn't actually play it because he keeps locking in Jarvan even when he has the chance to actually pick a Lee Sin here. So they banned away instead, don't want to have Copenhagen was first pick it. Something else was left open though.
Yes, and that was Yasuo, champion that both Countout and Selfie have played. I'd argue that Selfie's Yasuo has maybe looked a bit stronger overall, but Countout certainly knows his way around with that champion. And first pick, I give Super Crew a lot of options though here for their second and third, with so much focus onto the mid lane with the bans.
Sure, but again, do they want to take something like Elise, which is supposedly the next best jungler now that Lee Sin is being banned away? Or do they want to go for this Jarvan once again here? So maybe they want to delay the jungle pick and look towards the bottom lane. I mean, the Cockmore is open if they want to lock it in. Lulu, of course, a very strong pick all around as well, both top lane and mid lane. We see it both places.
Well, let's see then. For the Super Crew taking the time about this one, and we're going to see Lucian locked in the first round of picks. Not really a surprise. Lucian, probably the most hotly contested AD carry. As you mentioned, we saw Mr. Rolls building an Infinity Edge yesterday going into the late game. We also see Lulu picked up, which again could end up in the hands of Mima, or also Selfie in the mid lane. For the Wolves though, they're quite happy to be picking themselves up Evelyn, and Airwax has been instrumental in the few wins, the 3 wins in fact, that the Copenhagen Wolves have picked up over the split so far. He's been the one that's really got things started for them out of the jungle. Yeah,
and he's Evelyn. Normally as a champion, he picks up a lot of kill zone actually, and he's very aggressive early on, wants to gank multiple times. Even before level 6, he just goes very aggressive. Sometimes it backfires. He is the jungler with the most depth in the EU LCS, but still, he's an aggressive player. If it works for him, he can end up picking a lot of kills for the team and actually help win the game here. They do, however, need some knockups for this Yasuo.
I was just about to say that. So far, no extra knockups outside of Yasuo himself. They will pick up Irelia. Now, this was a champion that, for me, Youngbuck had his best game in the LCS so far on. That was in London against Alliance, our final matchup of week 5 there, and he was absolutely brilliant with Irelia. Got obviously fed a little bit earlier on, which helped him then snowball out of control in that game, but you know, we'll see if he can bring that to the table here. And it was interesting to see that little video where Impaler talked about Mima and Youngbuck 1v1ing each other.
Yeah, they know each other really well.
Yeah, which is an interesting thing if it comes down to a 1 versus 1, because it looks like the Super Crew may be going for the Jax. You can see that would fall into the hands of Mima on your screen now, and also seemingly Elise for the jungle for Impaler.
So if it's gonna be the Jax here, it's actually a matchup we have seen a few times and should be in favor of Jax. At least before 4.10 it was in favor of him, but there was room for outplay for Irelia here. You can dodge around the counter strike, land your own stun onto Jax here, and then with all your true damage you can actually get him fairly low. So there's definitely room for outplay here in favor of Youngbuck. But Jax all around is a very good pick, also against Irelia here. And we're gonna see both of them going up towards this late game point where Jax wants to split push, Irelia wants to team fight.
So, for the Wolves then, what do they finish off with? We talked about the fact that they've got the Yasuo in there. No knockups as of now.
Well, they do have the Thresh.
May have if they lock in the Thresh, but that's, you know, the Flay, yes, okay, you're going to throw that in there, but it's not exactly a super safe knockup, let's call it that. Twitch as well, a champion that Woolite has fallen time and time again onto, and a champion that he's very good with as well, but he seems to be a little bit undecided, flashing through all those different AD carries.
I would have loved to see Nami from Unlimited here to provide double knockup for the Yasuo, but I'm not sure if he actually plays it, and then of course he won't pick it unless he feels 100% confident, because again, Copenhagen Wolves, every single match for them now is pretty much a final, because they have to win. Yep. They have to pick up some wins or they won't go to playoffs and will drop straight into relegation, which of course is not the place you want to be. Definitely not as the lowest seed, which means you won't be able to pick your opponent.
Exactly, you almost left there at the mercy of the teams that end up finishing in those 6th and 7th positions. Either way, we are going to be seeing Jinx coming out for Woolite, and a champion which, you know, kind of fell out of favor here, but also if you get the right items, a lot of auto attacks out of Jinx. She does a lot of damage.
So it's an AD carry, which at least the European AD carries are either mixed opinions on here. Some people think, yeah, she's fine as long as she survives the laning phase. She's still a very strong pick. Other ADCs will say there's better options all around. There's no need to pick Jinx at the moment because, again, Twitch, Lucian, all these champions, Caitlyn should be better options. But she is a very strong champion if she gets a late game point where, again, Infinity Edge, we're talking Static Shift, so on, Last Whisper, everything. If she gets to the late game point, she is a very, very strong hyper carry. However, her laning phase can be a little bit tricky. We need to see if SUPA can punish the Jinx early on. And if they actually want to go, if Copenhagen Wolves wants to lane swap with it, it's a bit risky to lane swap with Aurelia though, because you want to make sure she can get farm, get a Trinity Force early on and become very strong in this mid-game point. And if you lane swap with her and delay this Trinity Force, it's going to be harder, at least for Youngbuck, to do something in team fights, because he needs the damage item first before he can build tanky, and therefore he will be very squishy for the first few team fights, which is something SUPA could capitalize on.
Saw that right at the very end as well. Kasing not making any friends here in the audience, hovering over Fiddlesticks until the last couple of seconds, and then switching out to Morgana. So Lucian Morgana up against Jinx and Thresh. This top lane top lane matchup going to be an interesting one if we see it. Of course, yes. With Aurelia versus Jax, and then Yasuo versus Lulu in the mid lane. And as you rightly pointed out, every game for the Wolves is kind of like a cup final day, if you like now. Everyone worth almost double the points. They need some confidence. They need a few wins on the board. But guys, now that we have the lineups in there, does the Super Hot Crew still have the advantage? Tweet hashtag CWWin or hashtag SHCWin to @LOL Esports. And we'll see who you guys think came out ahead when it comes to the picks and the bans.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared because, again, Copenhagen Wolves, they bring...
Don't be scared. I'm here for you.
Thank you, Joe. It's so nice to me. But Copenhagen Wolves, they bring a lot of physical damage here.
Yeah.
Pretty much only have Airwax to provide some magic damage, which late game Evelyn doesn't exactly blow up people, so shouldn't be anything SUPA needs to worry about, and they can actually stack a lot of armor here against both Yasuo and Jinx. They're going to make it very hard for the Copenhagen Wolves late game to win team fights.
And make it hard as well. When it comes to team fights, you've got the Flay for the knockup. Coutard's going to have to be on point. Unlimited's going to have to be on point if they want to get those big ultis off. We're going to find out, though, because we're jumping into game for the Copenhagen Wolves against the Super Hot Crew. Two teams with varying degrees of necessity, I think, for wins right now. Certainly the Wolves with just 3 to their name so far in the season. Don't forget, we're already just past the halfway point when it comes to the summer split. They almost have to have completely the opposite and go 12 for 3 and the other side, which obviously is more than 28 games, so that's kind of not going to work.
Yeah, it'll be pretty hard at least.
You get my point, though. A turnaround completely.
They need to win some
is
games.
what they need to do.
They need to win some games. Nothing more, nothing less. Can start out here by beating Super Hot Crew, but still, as we talked about, can be a little bit hard to set up their ult here from Coutard. I'm actually not 100% sure if the hook from Unlimited would set it up. I guess it will, because you actually move a target. So there would be 2 options for Unlimited to actually start the Yasuo ult. Otherwise, Carter will have to do it by himself. But still, a lot of physical damage. You have some true damage on Youngbuck, of course, but it's only for a few seconds. Otherwise, SUPA can just build full armor here. Especially my mob in his top lane. Once he builds up a Randuin's Omen, maybe a Sunfire, whatever Guardian Angel he decides to build, I mean, he's going to be very hard to kill for Copenhagen Wolves.
Well, let's find out, and if we'll see anything in the early stages of this matchup. Coutard was spotted out by a ward in the south side of the river. And after that, just backing away. A lot of pings going in, and as things stand right now, it looks like we're going to have standard lanes with Jax versus Aurelia up top and the duos facing off down on the bottom side of the map.
And let's see where Impaler places his pink ward, because again, it's one of the cool things about Elise. You only need 2 health potions, so you can start with this pink ward and then place it. So he decides to put it, of course, in his own jungle area. It would be a little bit risky to put it in the river or inside the Copenhagen Wolves area, because then he could just clear it out. So we have a pink ward early here. Could potentially spot Airworks if he wants to try and gank the mid lane, and he wants to move the entire way around the river here and possibly set up a counter gank, which SUPA can then use to get a kill.
So early push in here towards level 2 for the Copenhagen Wolves. Looks like they want to make that happen, maybe go for an early hook out of Unlimited, and they'll get rid of that first wave that little bit quicker. And Woolite getting the small early advantage of 1 creep extra from that first wave to come their way. So could have some exciting action about to go off down on this bottom side. We see Woolite using his rocket launcher just to get that splash damage and finish off those minions a little bit quicker as they go through. This top lane, of course, we heard it before, Youngbuck and Mime are 2 friends who play 1v1 a lot, and Youngbuck coming out aggressive here, doing good amounts of damage.
And we see Youngbuck starting with Flask here, so a lot of focus on sustaining himself with, of course, the built-in sustain Aurelia brings as well, where Mimer with Doran's Blade, the change here in 4.10, gives lifesteal now instead of on-hit HP, which means less sustain for him early. Gonna make the lane very risky for him, especially because he already took so much damage here. And Youngbuck will just sustain back up with the Flask. Will be forcing Mimer to TP home, or to TP back to base and then to lane afterwards very early on here if he keeps going, because there's no health potions left. And a big wave hitting the tower now.
So if Mimer can deal with all of them. Certainly expect top laners at this level to be accustomed to being stuck underneath their own towers and farming up those minions without any real problems. But certainly Mimer in a little bit of trouble in terms of how low he is in that lane. We see mid lane also being pushed out, and Lulu taking a bit of a walk towards the top side of the map. Is he going to try and join in on this top lane? No, it looks like it could be just a bit of a scouting mission there to see if they can spot the Evelynn.
And Airwax sitting up here in this top lane, potential counter gank if Impaler does show, because of course Youngbuck pushed out the lane to the enemy tower, so in case a gank should happen, Airwax is ready to counter gank it, or if Mimer should simply play too aggressive, they might try and go in, because he's so low, and just pick up a fast kill before he can even flash away.
Oh, Mimer needs to be super careful from this one. Impaler is going to be coming through, and did he spot him there? I don't think he did. So Airwax spotting Impaler out. They know that he's inside of that brush. There's a ward going down, and they're going to try and go in straight on towards Impaler. He can't really go anywhere, but they may have bought enough time. Youngbuck going low, flashing. Impaler gets the execute for the kill. Airwax dropped low as well. Real nice little turnaround from the Super Hot crew.
So Impaler actually missed everything in the start here, but he managed to rappel up in the air. By time, Mimer came in with the stun here, and they just turned all the attention to Youngbuck and instantly killed him here. That's one of the risky things if you do start Flask, because you don't have the extra combat stats for the fights here. So the Flask didn't pay off in the fight, but at least gave him some good fire.
Oh, that is bad news for Woolite, because he'll take the lantern right at the end. And that's saving his life. If that was a different support, Woolite may have just fallen from that one. Mr. Alto going very aggressive. Is he going to get the double hit? One more auto attack will do it, and he does pick up the kill. Unlimited going to get binded as well, but I don't think the damage is there for the Super Hot crew. They'll be happy with that single kill though onto Woolite. Use both summoners as well.
Yeah, because they managed to get him so low the first time here. Mr. Alice saw the opportunity once the lantern was down and just went all in for it. Used his heal as well to speed himself up to get in the bush, get the last auto attack onto Woolite here. So 2 early kills for Super Hot crew. Great start for them.
And there is the vote. Super Hot crew 66%. And staying with their favour, and this start certainly going to be helping that one out. 2-0 OP kills, 1,000 gold already. Just 5 minutes 50 into this matchup. And Youngbuck already feeling that pressure in the top lane. Not quite the start that he got against Alliance that really got him rolling. And look at this, Airwax going to come up and try and help him out again.
So there's flash on Mimer. Very healthy at this point here. They're going for it.
They're going to go for it. What can Mimer do? Leap strikes out to the back minion, and I think that's enough for him to get away. Airwax will put down a bit of extra damage from the hate spikes, but not enough to force him too far out of the lane, especially when he's got a Vamp Scepter now there as well to add in that extra lifesteal and keep him healthier in the lane.
Yeah, so early lifesteal for Mimer. Waiting now for just a wave to hit down to the tower once again. Pick up as many CS as possible. So while Youngbuck has control of the lane, still sort of first kill go over to Super Hot crew and assist for Mimer. And now once again just waiting for the minions. Both top laners of course use the teleport. And with this Elise, level 5, early dragon being started. She's very, very good at taking these early dragons. Doesn't take too much damage for it. Copenhagen was out ready to try and stop it with just unlimited, however, for a start. Kautot moving up here and managed to get Subaku to back away.
Yep, nicely done. Just the presence of Unlimited seemingly enough to add a bit of doubt to the Copenhagen, to the Super Hot crew there. stop them doing that early dragon, but it's not stopped Impaler hanging around in middle. Kaltard still has a flash if needed, and is level 7 now, so we'll see if he can actually get involved. He's also gone for that early Vamp Scepter and boots as well, so adding a bit of extra mobility, which Selfie's probably not too worried about either way since, well, he's Lulu.
And this is a great thing for SuperWeek in the bot lane, because Wulad had to base before he could get 1550 gold for BF Sword, and he was forced to buy the pickaxe. So he delays his BF Sword, which means you won't get the advantage in the laning phase you normally get when you get the BF Sword against the Cutlass here. So very good thing for SuperWeek. They managed to get the kill early on. Because once the blade now is going to be completed for Mr. Rallis, he will be stronger until Jinx picks up Infinity Edge, Static Shift, whatever item we want. Maybe even the third item. Mr. Rallis should be in the driving seat then. So very good thing they managed to delay the BF Sword and won't have to deal with this hard lane for the next few minutes.
Moonlight, though, is farming well. 64 to 55 CS despite going down earlier on. We'll see if he can keep that one up and how this pickaxe is going to affect him here. Always the threat of that hook to come out from Unlimited seems to be giving a bit of apprehension over on the side of the Super Hot crew. Kaltard will move off as well and farm up Wraith. So back into that more farming pattern. We see that both junglers are doing a similar thing. Evelyn's on the bottom side of the map though, so may look to try and get involved at least down on the bottom lane. Or not.
Blue buff though for Selfie, just looking to keep pushing in the wave every single time, but Kaltard, they're basically farming fairly even. Both of them just pushing out the wave as many times as possible. Not even trading too much damage back and forth, just focus on farming here. The tower for Kaltard to take a little bit of damage because the minion waves keeps getting pushed into it, but no real issue for him so far.
Oh, we do have Airwax coming across. Are they going to go for Selfie? There we go.
Knock-up
coming in, and there's the ultimate out of Airwax. A good wild growth. Will they dive it? I don't think they got the damage or the HP to survive the tower. And now Impaler's coming across the side. He'll need a good cocoon, and Kaltard was already far enough towards his own turret.
And Selfie actually managed to whimsy Kaltard while he was knocked up, but just before he got knocked up, so Kaltard couldn't activate his ulti, therefore Selfie could just ult himself, didn't have to use flash, and just walk back to the tower here. So very fast whimsy, made sure Kaltard couldn't actually ult him even though he was knocked up.
Oh, Kaltard gonna go in aggressive once again there though.
And now he
Selfie backed away. There was the not the ultimate landing, the knock-up landing. No follow-through, but here we go then. Hook gonna land onto Impaler. Chompers are down as well. That's a good repel. He's gonna come right back down just off to the side of them, and that gets him away from any danger that may have been there from the Wolves.
And it's always scary when you play against Elise and Morgana, the fact you have Cocoon and Binding, two skills. Just if one of them lands, the next one will follow up and you just CC'd for like 5 seconds in the late game once they max them out. Binding, of course, being is it 3.5? It's just 3 seconds. And of course, Cocoon being 2 seconds when you max it here.
Well, this Dragon actually going down really, really quickly. Impaler going to smite that one away. And now they're going to try and get it on towards Kaltard. That's going to be a kill for them. Can they get any more here? Airwax down to Hop as Youngbuck will finish off Selfie. Kasing the next target. Have they got the damage? And can they lock him up? No, they can't. Black Shield was on him as well for that extra protection. And in the end, we trade 1 for 1. But Dragon went to the side of the Super Hot crew.
Yeah, so they managed to get Dragon. No teleport on Maimer, so he couldn't join in for the fight here. Youngbuck did teleport down. Means Maimer now just left to farm by himself. Youngbuck will join him shortly here. Very nice trick from Unlimited. Put down the lantern, instantly you can just teleport to it. And Youngbuck came in a very good spot and could join the fight instantly.
So that leaves though Woolite again free farming in the bottom lane. 93 to 77 CS. We also have 87 to 75 in this top lane. So Youngbuck doing a really good job so far of that. Has a Sheen in his arsenal as well, as he's going to put down the stun onto Maimer, stop him going aggressive. Looked like Maimer was about to turn onto him and try and do some damage. That wasn't really the case, and again both teams headed off and getting some more farm under their belt. We'll see Kaltard with the zeal now as Maimer going to get the stun onto Youngbuck. Has he got the damage to finish off? That was a big blast, and Youngbuck can thank his lucky stars for getting away there.
There was no flash on Maimer, so he couldn't actually go for the kill. Too long cooldown on the Q here early on for him. Still, force Youngbuck all the way back to the tower. Airwick's now up here, joining in. Let's see if Youngbuck can actually bait out something from Maimer. If he can get Maimer to tower dive him, then Airwick can join in. Youngbuck might still die for it. He's very, very low at this point. Also, Sheen is first item, so very squishy.
See if he can do it. Airwax is like,
They
do I
can't do
go
it.
in?
No, no, no.
Do I move away? In the end, it seems like moving away is the idea, and actually cross over the top of a pink ward there, which either he didn't see or didn't care to stick around long enough to try and take away. Either way, that'll leave Mima safe on this top side. And look at Kauton, not super healthy at this point, but I said it before, the Ramp Scepter for that extra sustain coming in. And Impaler not going to stick around there for too long. Looks like he might try and do a bit of counter jungling.
And we do have Blade of the Ruin King completed on Mr. Alice now, so really looking to be strong here in this mid-game. Let's see if he goes Ghost Blade as the second item. Of course, Jinx still looking for Infinity Edge. Young Mima here, taking some damage. Airworks once again is close, but they need to be careful.
Managed to sneak in on the backside.
No flash on Mima though.
Need to get some CC down onto him. It's all going to be about Youngblood. There's the ultimate coming out. Good leap away onto the Warden with a counter-strike up. That may be enough. No! Airwax just dodging out of range. Youngblood came in just afterwards. That was a nicely worked kill for the Wolves.
Yeah, and Youngblood managed to get a lot of HP back from his ult on the minion wave, and then we saw the Sheen as well. The burst you can do early, jumps in, get the Sheen proc, and then Airwax could just pick up the kill. And we see it actually again from him. He's very aggressive on his Ever lane. He really wants to gank a lot early on and wants to make sure his lanes get rolling. A lot of focus on top lane here. First gank didn't work. This one did. And now managed to get a kill for himself and an assist on the side of Youngblood.
Having a look at stealing the blue buff here, and maybe even more. There is the repel coming in. There is a blue buff picked up, but it's going to be traded straight away. Airwax goes down. It's Impaler that actually gets it. I think he actually wanted to leave that there to Selfie, but I think it was the red buff that actually finished him off. Either way, he gets the blue and the kill.
So an aggressive play. There was no wards for Copenhagen Wolves to actually spot them moving there, so they just moved through the river, got in there, put a ward, and just went straight for Airwax, who was left all by himself. Youngblood had already recalled and didn't have teleport to even try and help him. Wouldn't have mattered anyhow because he died so fast. So Super Hawk Crew, even though Mima died in his top lane, make sure to pick up the blue buff on Impaler and a kill again.
Oh, Impaler's coming from behind, gonna repel in here earlier on. Youngblood actually diving back out to him. Spider comes down, Cocoon's landed, but the Super Hawk Crew had already lost interest there. Don't think they realized that was gonna land.
They want the tower.
Yeah, but he's spotted by that ward, and we see Youngblood's going down. They will surely take the tower though.
They will get the tower here. Kautor can try and push to mid lane, but his wave is just arriving now, so shouldn't be able to get too much damage. Selfie already recalling, will return to his mid lane as fast as possible. So power play, Mima, get Youngblood fairly low, Impaler joins in afterwards, force him away from the tower and just take it.
So, can Kauton, he's not going to be able to take that turret, I don't think, here with Lulu already coming back in. But look at the Super Hot Crew, not messing around here, already working their way through. And Youngblood's going to get locked up from this one. Counter-strike though, not getting this stun, it won't matter. Youngblood's got no flash available. Mima gets that one, and now this turret is in danger.
They will be able to take it. I mean, there's no teleport, of course. Youngblood is already dead. He has no teleport anyway. Nobody can join in time. Unlimited moving from the base. Another tower for Super Hawk Crew here. And Elise is such a good jungler at diving. I mean, you start out, you take the aggro, you take some damage, then you just propel up in the air, reset the aggro, jump down, and finish off whatever target you're actually diving onto. It's a very good play by Super Hawk Crew. And Copenhagen Wolves didn't send anyone to try and help Youngblood here. Airwax went to the enemy blue buff instead, took it, and left Youngblood by himself to just lose either tower, die, or both.
Gonna try to get into Selfie, but that's a good wild growth. Got the knock-on on both Airwax and Kauton. And Selfie again able to escape without having to use that flash. Good try from the Wolves, but they've got no crowd control between Yasuo and Evelyn that's really gonna keep Selfie locked up long enough to do enough damage to him, especially when wild growth's available.
Yeah, and we've seen twice already. They try to gank him, pops the wild growth, survives, doesn't even have to use the flash, and just stays in the lane and just farms away. Still, I'm really questioning how they just left Impaler and Mima to push down the second tower. Nobody came to help Youngblood, just left him all by himself. Very weird decision, because they had plenty of time to actually move up there and help. They saw Impaler through the entire time. He was taking the first tower and moved with the minion wave to the next one, so of course they knew he was there. Still, cost him 2 towers, and Dragon now also looks to go to Super Hot Crew.
That's a cheeky little shield from Kasing. Dragon is already very low. Impaler should be able to finish this one off before they get in unlimited. Actually going aggressive. Kasing will lock him up with the ultimate, and there is the finisher. The Super Mega Death Rocket goes through the middle. Kauton's trying to get the knockups, but he doesn't get it. In fact, he goes down. Mr. Ross gets a double. Selfie with 2 men on him will get away, and now Mima jumps in the back. That'll be another kill for him. Blade of the Ruin King used. Youngblood gonna get polymorphed and will be finished off here at the back. It's a double kill for Jax. and an ace for the SuperWeek crew.
And simply a perfect time for SuperWeek crew to actually teamfight. You have Blade the Ruin King on your AD carry. Infinjets just got completed after Woola had actually died, so he didn't have it for the fight. Mr. Alice was obviously stronger, and Selfie as well in this mid lane here, doing really well on Lulu. We're just gonna see the fight again. Unlimited goes in with Airwax. Only Unlimited actually ends up getting locked up and die from this one. The rocket completely missed from Woola because Kasing is flashed away. Kaza goes in, tries to kill some people, but Yasuo, you need some items here before you can really start team fighting. He went in, there was no knockup for him to actually use his ulti, and ended up doing nothing in the fight, and again, he needs the items. SuperWeek can just finish it up here. Impaler is very strong. Again, Blade the Ruin King on to Mr. Rales. He's very strong at this point. And Yasuo without items, can't do anything in these fights, especially when there's no knockup for him to join in with.
And we saw him there searching for it in the fight, trying to get it on to someone to really target. That didn't work out for him. Now, though, he's going to find Kasing. Will he be able to actually take him down, though? We see with the presence of Selfie, he says, no, I can't. There was a wild growth for Selfie if he'd have actually needed to help out his support there. So no real problems at all for the SuperWeek crew. They're up 10-3 in kills, and this is Youngbuck now going on towards Mima, who simply leap strikes away. The beauty of Jax. Don't want to give up those double buffs either.
And we do see early on here from SuperWeek crew as well, a lot of armor. Glacial Shroud already for Impaler will look to build a Frozen Heart, which fits perfect against Copenhagen Vulture. Attack speed reduction on to all the physical damage dealers is going to be great for SuperWeek crew, and we see Hourglass as well. Second item for Selfie next time he actually goes back to base here. So a lot of armor early on, making it very hard for Copenhagen Vulture to come back.
Yeah, the armor, the attack speed reduction.
Such a good thing in 4.10.
Such a strong item at this point of the game. Impaler and the rest of the SuperWeek crew are actually moving through the Wolves jungle now, and this is the dangerous part. Once you start losing control of your own side of the jungle and you kind of fear to move out, that's when they can move on your turrets really quickly. We see it already on that bottom turret. Selfie's already started chipping away. Not masses of damage done to it though at this point, but the Wolves know that they have to be super careful if they even want to move into their own part of the jungle to do anything.
And there's been an issue for Copenhagen Wolves before, where they teamfight too early with whatever comp they had. When they played Kayle and Ashe, they went for teamfights already like 10 minutes, even though they need more time, especially to build up your AD carry. If you go Infinity Edge first, you need time to build up. You don't want to go into teamfights straight away, especially not against the Blade Ruin King Ghostblade AD carry, because he will do so much more damage than you. And Copenhagen Wolves keep looking for these fights here, and they keep losing them.
Impaler as well, doing so much damage, forcing the Wolves completely away, and that means a red buff will go over to Mima, I believe. Yeah, did pick that one up. And now they simply move in towards the mid lane. They're going to have another wave coming through in just a second. The Wolves also adjust their positioning accordingly so that they can defend that one, currently with 3 men. Mima just slowed down there by Jinx in the jungle, but Youngbuck 2-3-1 at this point. Not going to be as scary as if things continue this way as Mima on that Jax. Blade done 2 out of 3 items for his Trinity Force as well.
Yeah, at this time of the game, Copenhagen Wolves need to just try and catch someone from SuperWeek crew out of position. But as long as they ward up everything like they've done now, they can just move between the lanes like they want to. Make sure they don't get caught out of position, get some damage on the tower, move to the next lane, take this tower down here. Mid lane, Mima already pushing it in, and just play it safe from now on.
Yeah, Youngbuck going to be the one that has to try and take on Mima. As we see her slow coming down, Mima says no, not going to stick around and fight that one despite my level advantage. Trinity Force is done for Youngbuck, so still going to pack a decent punch, is that Irelia. But if you look across the map here, the SuperWeek crew 5-0 up in turrets. The Wolves have not got a turret up until now, and there's only that one single tower outside of the base remaining from in the mid lane. It's obviously a target that the SuperWeek crew will want to take down, and that leaves them then with a free run of the entire map.
And we just saw the Dragon as well. We took down the Dragon, won the team fight without any problems, and took down the bottom tower as well. Simply put in some deep wards and just moved between lanes, took tower. As long as Copenhagen Wolves weren't in position to actually straight up defend it, which is a bit of an issue as well for the Wolves. If you look at the wave clear, Jinx doesn't exactly have too much wave clear. I would actually say she doesn't have anything when you siege a tower, because she needs to get close in with her rockets to really clear the waves fast enough. Yes, okay, she has melee damage, but it takes time for her to clear these waves. Therefore, I don't really count it as real wave clear against the siege, which SuperWeek can do with both Lulu and Lucian here. And of course, Yasuo, he needs time as well. He needs to be able to bounce in between the waves to actually clear them or be very close to them, which is very, very scary at this point against Elise and Morgana. I mean, if you move too close to the minion wave and they're right in front of you, you're gonna get binded. Same goes for Jinx, and then you die.
Look at that selfie. Spotting out Airwax with that pink warden. Airwax loses half of his health for the pleasure. Deathcap, Athenes, and what will... Oh, Impaler coming around. Actually got vision there of him. Does manage to land that stun on towards Youngbuck, who's going to be slowed down. He dashes away. Will flash as well, but Kassin coming through. He's got the ulti on both of them. Only Youngbuck will be stunned up really. That's a good rocket from the side. And now the Wolves actually trying to get back around to this one. Jack's not there. He's got no teleport either. There is Selfie flashing away. Impaler goes low. Mr. Rolls goes man mode. Gets another kill, but can they escape from it? Countdown going to be trying to chase through. There's the knockup. Has he got enough damage? He does, but he falls. There's the repel as well. Going for unlimited now. The damage surely there. Shield from Lulu. Turns it around. There's a polymorph as well. And Woolite goes down. Triple kill for Impaler.
Only 4 members of SUPA crew. Mimo was running from the base the entire time, and they managed to win the team fight. It really shows how far ahead they are and how hard it is for Copenhagen to kill them. We're just gonna see it again here. Airwax is actually SUPA crew starting the whole thing. They go aggressive onto Youngbuck and Airwax. We see the ulti coming in from Kassin on both them. Youngbuck being locked down. Does a lot of damage though. The rocket actually comes in, killing Kassin early. Now, Selfie gets knocked up. He's the target. Wild Grove, of course, stays alive. And then Mr. Alice here popping the ghost with everything, going huge here, picks up the kill. And then it's all about Impaler in the end. Mr. Alice will go down, still again, do a lot of damage before he actually dies. And we're just gonna see Impaler full man mode crazy with Selfie.
Look at the shield here as well from Selfie. Impaler had hardly any health left remaining. Cocoon was thrown out. Woolite bursted by Selfie. And Impaler, well, Woolite for most of that time there was actually trying to kill off the shield. Wasn't really doing any real damage to him.
And then we saw Mima in the end. Running into the picture. Like, I'm here, guys, I'm here.
No kills for Mima.
Nothing to do for him. I believe actually Selfie had death cap already for the fight, so he
did, yeah.
So he didn't go for the outlast as fast as possible. He went for death cap instead. Therefore, we saw the massive shield and also the wild growth for him in the fight. So actually, he probably ended up winning them the fight. The fact he went death cap and now he has the outlast as well. So it really shows how fed he is as well.
And Frozen Heart, Banshee's Veil for Impaler, very tanky. The Trinity Force and the Blade of the Ruin King for Jax. If you look down the AD carries as well, that Ghost Blade always going to offer you so much in these fights, along with now a Pickaxe and BF Sword. So Infinity Edge coming up next for Mr. Rolls, and that's, I mean, if the Copenhagen Wolves couldn't win that fight, 4 versus 5, without a Jax in there, if a Jax is there, that will look a lot different.
Overall, it was just such an issue for the Wolves because they don't really want to go too late game due to being full physical. And at the same time, they want to build up items on both Jinx and Yasuo before they even team fight. So Subaku has actually been in control of the game pretty much through the entire time. And even the late game as well for Subaku was so strong, stacking armor, Jax of course going into the late game as well. So they've just been very happy with the champ select and been using the comp really well to take control of the game. Airwax sneaking in behind him here. Will be able to surprise them most likely.
How sneaky is he going to be though? There's a Cocoon landing on towards Unlimited. We've got Jax still running amok on the bottom side of the base as well. He was trying to split push things out. Airwax still waiting there on the back for some kind of opportunity to get him, but the Super Hot crew moving around now on towards this bottom turret, already down to less than half HP. Mima pretty much solo in that turret as we still see Airwax there in the top right hand side of your screen, but the Super Hot crew going to go to him with a pink. Just to sidestep the binding, and now they know that he's behind him. Not sure that they particularly care though, judging by how they're running back towards this bottom lane.
No, I mean they want to team fight because they are so strong, they are so far ahead at this point. It's also why we see them just stay around here, don't even care about Baron now, just want to get these towers down. Mime already did a lot of damage to the bot tower here. Airwax staying behind them once again.
Behind him.
Should be able to engage now.
I was going to say, he needs to do something now. Mima actually jumping away there. He's got the ulti on 4 people. Mr. Rolls hammering him down. Selfie actually will get the kill in the end, and there's a wild growth onto Selfie to knock them up. Mr. Rolls finally shut down, but Youngbuck will die to Kasing. The front line here for the Copenhagen Wolves getting through onto the AD carry, but the rest of the team destroyed. Countdown not having an impact in that fight. It's an 8 for the Super Hot Crew, and there's 20 seconds here. We might have enough time to win the game.
So it was pretty much a perfect engage for Airwax, hitting 4 members here. But once again, there was no knock-up for Kauta to do anything. And Mr. Rales, he just destroyed Airwax as soon as he saw him, popped the Ghost Blade and everything, melted him. And Subaru, because they are so far, because they are so strong at this point, won the fight. 2 inhibitors. At least the Wolves, they tried. I mean, you can't just sit back and let them take your towers. You have to try. They got a good engage, but it's just too late.
And we did see some one item purchase. Mr. Rawls, who obviously died. Ooh, Super Mega Death Rocket. Hits the Banshee's Veil and a bit onto Mima. I don't think they even realized there that that had actually landed onto them. But
they are picking Baron here. Copenhagen Wolves running towards the Baron. They stopped the recall. Desperate Baron call, but it's what they need. They might be able to pick it up if they're very, very fast here.
Well, they are going to be going for it. Airwax already, though, down to half. Let's see how quickly they can do this. There's a TP. Mima may have to be a bit of a hero here because the Baron is already down to less than half HP. Has to walk the long way around the jumpers. Baron goes low. Where is the pickup? It does go over to the Copenhagen Wolves, but Mima is doing the business right in the middle of the team. There is a wild growth as he goes back in. Youngbuck will try and successfully get away from it, but now they're going to try and chase down Woolite and Airwax. Moving to the top side of the map. There's the counter-strike for the stun. Woolite goes down. Airwax is dead. That's 3 men down, and look at that. The super minions in the Wolves' base.
So Copenhagen Wolves, they had pretty much only one option. Try and go Baron, get it, and try and get away before Subaru could even get to you. They got the Baron, but Subaru managed to collapse onto them, picked up the kills here.
They're going to try and win.
They're going to try and win it. They should be able to. I mean, there's still 10 seconds on counter.
Yeah. Super minions coming in from this one. Only 2 men left alive for the Copenhagen Wolves. Impaler may try and lock up a few more kills. A good Lancing goes through, but the Nexus focus and the Super Hot Crew pick up the win against the Copenhagen Wolves.
Some good picks by Subaru here. They managed to use the mid-game advantage, especially with Mr. Rales having their Blade of Throne King and Ghost Blade. And overall, they were the stronger team. They played it really well here. Impaler with a lot of impact as well early on. Some good ganks from him, especially the first one where they managed to get the first spot. And then just stacking armor from there on. Nothing Copenhagen Wolves could really do once they fell behind.
No, and even when they had the chance that we saw in a couple of those fights, Kauta almost running around in circles, trying to lock on to a target, trying to get his knock-up so that he could really follow through, and it felt like we didn't really see him use an ultimate in that game, really.
Once onto Selfie, but Selfie just dropped down, used his wild growth on himself. He went in the team fight where Mima wasn't there. Actually, 4 members from Subaru still managed to win it. I don't know, pick and ban wise, I feel like Subaru